making the project without any paints. Is it even possible? You can see in this video it is. Is it easy? It is easy also. It's Asia Marke here, Lemon Creation, with a Halloween project as you requested. Stay tuned. I have to admit it's been ages since I've done a project like that without paints and with embossing, and for those of you who know me, I hate embossing. I mean, it's not that I hate it, I'm not very good at it. I have the powder always flying, you know, all over the place, and I don't think it's especially healthy also, you know, just breathing the powder while you're drying it. So I try to avoid it. But you know, sometimes it's just good to come back to things you haven't done for a while and just enjoy the process, and you know, you can get still amazing results. And I am very happy I've done these cards, and they were actually done to fulfill the request from Elaine. Thank you, Elaine, for responding to my question in the last video. So you requested something Halloween, and here they are, my Halloween cards. And for the first time in ages, I haven't used any paint whatsoever. I use some Gesso, you're gonna see it, but I don't consider Gesso really a paint. So those are gonna be the cards, the ATC cards, which are totally Halloween, totally without any paint, and with embossing powder. And I have to tell you, for once, no, but not for once, but I really enjoy this time using embossing, you know. As I said, I don't use it very often, but when I use it, I am usually happy with results, apart from the, you know, the way to achieve the results, so the whole travel like in between, which could be messy in my case. As I said, you know, the powder is usually flying away and things like that. Although I have to say, I improved. Now I have my tricks for embossing, so when I have embossing powders, and these ones are special, you can put them on they are opaque, so you can put them on the black paper, but they have a lot of micas. They have actually, they are not it's not a fine powder, it's a powder with mica pieces in it, so it's very hard to glue these pieces to the page. They are flying away very easily, but over the years, I got my techniques, I learned them from other crafters, I learned them by my mistakes, and I know now the best techniques to use embossing powders, which is you start on the low heat setting, and you also heat from underneath the page if it's possible, so like that you give the powder a chance to actually adhere to the paper, adhere to the surface, and like that you can attack them from the top, from the right hand side, and then like that, you know, you're not gonna make a mess all over the place. So I'm talking about embossing and things like that, but as you've seen, I took 3 black cards, ATC size. They're not gonna have any other backing, and I used 3 of my stencils. And of course, as always, you're gonna find a full list of products with the links also, because I work with affiliate links for not all of the products, but some of them. And also a link to my shop where you can find those stencils I used in this project. So everything you're gonna get in the description box below, but right now I'm using embossing pen from Holtz, which is also very, very good thing to have, because it's like a marker. It has quite a fine tip, and you can draw with it, and later you can use embossing on it. So if you don't have it, you just do it. And I just compared the first card I've done with my stencil to the other ones, and I just saw that I should have actually go all over the piece of paper, and I left the spaces empty, and I didn't like it. So that's why I'm using the embossing pen, and I'm kind of filling up the empty spaces to add some embossing powder to it, and just, you know, to keep everything like full, you know, the card fully done. And I haven't dried them yet, I haven't heat set them yet. And if you manage to get your nib a little bit dirty, just use a scrap piece of paper to kind of clean the nib. I'm talking now about this marker, this embossing pen I'm using. So this is really great thing to have. It comes into colors and comes in black and white. I just grabbed the first one I had. I could have used the black one, but you know, if you want to do some embossing on the white piece of paper, you can use the white one. If you want to have some black embossing, you can use black pen, and even use a clear embossing powder like that. You're gonna get the black embossing effect at the end. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, I apologize, but give me write a question in the comment and I'll explain a little bit better. So as you can see, these powders from Lindy are really, really beautiful. They are called chunky embossing powders because they have chunk in them. But as I said, they are quite hard to heat set. So here are my tips. You're gonna see all of what I've just told you about, of how I heat set, things like that. So I start with the low heat setting, and then I heat them from underneath, so like that the pieces are not flying away. I probably should have do it a little bit longer, because as you've seen, there was some mica which just flew away. I use a broken wooden plate. I had a wooden plate, you know, for a cheese. This one is from bamboo. I love bamboo. And so it just got broken in half, and I'm reusing it for my embossing purposes. It's a very good thing to do, because my cover on my desk is actually reacting very badly to the heat from the heat gun, and it's getting, you know, all bumpy if I heat a little bit too close to the cover. So that's why I'm using also, you know, this wooden kind of desks, boards. And like that, I'm sure, you know, I'm not gonna destroy my cover, which by the way is a plexiglass, just, you know, with some kind of a photo, kind of not paper, but it's like a sort of the tissue, you know, which you use for photo backgrounds, just in case you want to know how or what I use on my desk. I've been using it for ages. It's not a perfect solution, because sometimes I have some, you know, some light which is reflecting in it, but that's the best one I could find. Once again, you see all the process. I prefer if you see it from the beginning, because I know a lot of you are the beginners, and you know, small things like that, they are kind of silly, and you know, you may say to yourself, oh, it's so silly, I should know that, but you know, you learn those things over time. I didn't know at the beginning, I was struggling a lot. My first trials with embossing powder, it was just, that's why I think I don't like it especially, but it was just a catastrophe. The powder was flying away everywhere. I had my desk completely covered in powder, and for those of you who emboss it, you know how, you know, crazy it can go, and I really hate it, because I always had so much work with it. I wanted to add some white reflections to the card. I didn't want to do spray, like not spray, splatter, because I knew that's gonna be very hard to keep a splatter on the you know, on the surface of the embossing powder. So I decided to use dry brush and gesso, so dry brush technique, and just add a little bit of white gesso to it, to kind of you know, kill the shine. Because I have to say, the embossing powder, especially this color which I'm using right now, or covering right now, is quite it's quite shiny. Sorry for the sound in the background. My computer wants to tell me something, I'm not sure, and I don't actually care that much. And so so that's what I'm using, you know, or doing. I'm adding a little bit of white reflex in the onto the cards. I'm wondering now, I like it that way, but I'm wondering now, how or what would you prefer? If I leave the cards shiny, since it's Halloween, I was thinking that shine is not maybe a way to go, or do you think the way I've done it right now with the white gesso is the good way to go? Just leave me a comment. I'm really wondering. I need to know, or so I would like to know. It's not that I need to know, but I would like so much to know what you like in my projects, what you don't like, you know. What would you like me to do? So I am grateful to Elaine that she actually answered and told me that she would like, you know, this thing to be done because at least I know I work for you, really, you know, that I'm making projects which you could be interested at or in. My prepositions, sorry. So please let me know if you have any requests or if you have any criticism or whatever, just let me know. I'll be so happy. Yes, my YouTube algorithm, I'm not gonna lie, is gonna be happy as well because it's gonna see some interaction. But most of all, it's gonna be me who is gonna be really, really happy that you know, you are telling me things, guys. I really appreciate that, and yes, this is very important for me, for my future projects, for my future designs and things like that. So I hope you like my monsters. Oh, they are not mine. They are done by JLeeloo. And I bought them last year as Digi papers from ATC. I hope she still has them because they are absolutely gorgeous. There is a lot of them, like, you know, I think there is 4 kind of weird monsters type of things, Halloween, but they are super cute, I find them. And then you have a small designs on the side also, you know, some words, some hearts, things like that. And so you can cut them out, you can print them. First of all, for those of you who don't know, Digifiers are very easy to work with. You buy them, you get them straight away on your email after buying them, after making purchase. Then you can simply print them out on your home printer. The best thing would be to use kind of like a Bristol paper or photo paper, but matte. And you just cut them and you have them, you know, you can keep them in your computer and you can reuse them as often as you want. Of course, you should not share them with any other people, but you know, they are for you for life. And that's what I'm doing also, like right now in my shop. You can find some Digi stars, like Christmas, winter stars, not only, but you know, you can find a lot of them in my shop. And also I hope that's working, actually, I'm not sure. I made some free Digi stars which I'm sending now automatically with every order you are getting or you are making in my shop. So coming back to these monsters, I print them out on the photo paper, matte photo paper from Canson, I think. That's my favorite paper. And then I cut them out. And of course, you can mix and match the monsters. They don't have to be exactly the same as you know, as you see them on the when you're making a purchase. So this is super cool. And because they are on the matte paper, or like photo paper, they are quite sturdy already. So I don't even put any backing to them. They are really, you know, the paper I think is 170 grams, so it's quite a good paper. As you can see, I'm also adding a little bit, or adding, not really adding, but making the, oh, how do you say it? I'm using my calligraphy pen to cover the edges. Oh, so the edges are not white. And I am alternating between a normal glue, I think I used Deluxe Adhesive, and 3D foam tape. Because like that, you know, I can get some like deepness, some I don't know, the head could be a little bit, you know, sticking out of the body or the opposite. And I really love that because straight away you get a much better effect. If you were to glue everything, you know, with the same thing, especially if you do some kind of like people monster type of things, it would be a little bit more boring than if you actually alternate between those two methods of, you know, of adhering things to the page. And I'm trying to make things, you know, different, like legs, which are not the same size. There is one gonna have just one hand, one monster. The heads are gonna be, you know, moving to the right, left, and, you know, being on the long neck or without a neck. And really, this is such a fun. I absolutely love those designs, and I've done already 2 tags last year with them, and I was so happy. I think they're gonna be my favorite designs, like, you know, Halloween ones ever. They already came, you know, with the colors also, so you don't have to, if you are not very good at coloring stuff, you know, they are already colored. I mean, okay, the colors are not very bright, but they are already there. and they actually match, they kind of look kind of like a dirty, almost monsters, you know, like the one with the heart. It's done so nicely. I really absolutely love it. It's so easy to work with it. So this is also one of the ideas. Check Etsy, check Shopify, check shops like that, shop like mine also. I know I'm doing publicity, but you know, I have to. This is my only income. And so, you know, Digi files now are very popular. You don't have to send things, you know, physically. You get them straight away. You can work with your Christmas designs, for example, you know, in advance. Things like that I really like, and I know that not all of you have a good printer, can afford the paper or whatever, but sometimes it's good to just, you know, to just try. And even if you print on a normal printing paper and just, you know, put some backing to it, I guess that would work also fine. I think I'm just gonna speed up a tiny bit the video. I'll let you with the music in the background, because all I'm doing right now is actually gluing the things to the cards, and I have to tell you, I really had fun with it. It's a very precise work, because the hands, the legs, all of that is so small, so tiny, and then I am adding the, you know, or coloring the edges of every small detail. So it was time consuming, I'm not saying, but it was fun to do, because, you know, you can play and you can make kind of your own monsters. So this is super cool. You know, I like to work with the contrast, so for me there has to be almost always a little bit of black, a little bit of white on the page. This time I was missing white, so this is the Brilliance ink which I'm going for. It's a permanent one, and it's Tsukinko, I think, and it's one of the my favorite white inks, which is actually working quite well, which you can use with stamps and which is staying well and printing well on the page. So if you have you know, if you are looking for the white ink, this one is the one to go. Apparently a scrapbook one is also very good, but I don't have it, so I cannot tell you, but with this one I am very happy, and as you can see, it's actually visible on the edges, so this is super cool. For the paper sentiments, I was looking or browsing through two of my books, Really Silly Words and Super Messy Words, and finally I think I chose the ones only from Really Silly Words. I think there was one sentence which I cut a little bit, like it was much longer, but I just cut it to fit the ATC cards. And I was also alternating because, as you may know, the words in my books are in two colors. So like that, you know, you can choose whichever color works for you. So for example, this one I'm trying right now, limited edition. It comes in white and it comes in black. So I was looking which one will fit better in the cards. The choice of words plays an important role for me, because I don't actually do art journaling, in which I journal or I write what's happened, my feelings and stuff like that. For me, art journaling is about making a layout and choosing the right words to go with it, so like that it has a meaning. So yes, it took me some time. You haven't seen that because I cut this part of the video when I was browsing through the papers and trying to find the best you know, words which goes with the cards. But I am happy. I think I found them. I love them, and that is the end of these cards. They look funny, no? They don't look super Halloween apart from these monsters, because the colors are not very Halloweenish, but I still love them. I think why not change a little bit, you know, and instead of doing things in you know, purples or reds or blacks, just do a little bit something different. So as you can see, no paints, just embossing powder. I really enjoyed for once the process with embossing powder. It was not that painful as I would expect, and I seriously hope you like it. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, I would be so happy if you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell button, and well, that's it from me. Check the description box below for the links, for the products, for the link to my shop, for the Digi stars I have in my shop. I'm gonna also give you a link to Etsy, where I bought these monsters. And I wish you a beautiful day, and see you in my next video. Bye bye.